Well, as we still continue to wait the word from Judge Torres on the case of the SEC versus Ripple, there's some new news that I wanted to talk about regarding Ripple and their potential buyback of 10 billion XRP. Those rumors have been circulating around the internet, specifically Twitter, and I wanted to talk about what Ripple CTO David Schwartz has to say about it. Also, in other cryptocurrency news, Bitcoin has climbed at the end of last week up to over $31,000, and there is a number of reasons why. I'm going to talk about it in this video, which include the approval of a new Bitcoin ETF. Is it good? Or is it bad? Or does it really matter at all? And finally, as it looks like there is going to be a rate hike pause, at least temporarily, by the US Federal Reserve, I'm going to talk about what exactly is happening on a macroeconomic scale in terms of the US banking sector, the debt, and what the arguments are. Those that are saying there is a monumental crash coming, including a legendary investor close to George Soros. Hey everyone, my name is Randy. Welcome back to the Late Night Grind. And right now on this channel, we are covering the Ripple versus the SEC case, as well as other cryptocurrency news, investment markets, and personal finance. So if any or all these topics interest you, make sure you go ahead, hit that subscribe button, join the Late Night Grind community. And if you do a couple of things, I'd really appreciate it. Smash the thumbs up button, and of course, watch this video all the way to the end. Don't forget to smash that bell icon. That way YouTube will send you a notification when I release a new video. So if you do all that, I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, guys, let's jump into it. So the last time we heard from the US Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, he was talking about pausing rate hikes, although they did say there's likely to be at least 2 more rate hikes by the end of the year. Now, what that's going to do to the markets, that remains to be seen. But as of right now, there are several other economic factors that I wanted to discuss, and those are some of the ones from some big-time people with a lot of sway that say there is a major recession coming and a major bear market that could be one of the worst in history. Now, I want to talk about specifically Jim Rogers, who's a legendary investor who is a close associate of very successful investor George Soros. What he has to say about risk assets specifically, which of course would involve many of cryptocurrencies in things like Bitcoin. His take on what is going to come down the pike very, very soon is that there is far too much debt, and that is going to lead to a major bear market, in his words, the worst one of his 80-year lifespan. Now, he said this one is looking similar to the one in 2008 credit crisis, except for the setup is a lot worse, meaning there is far more debt and there's far more leverage right now than we did back in 2008. So those aren't good. I've also seen several other analysts saying the same thing and not backing down, that this is going to be a one heck of a bear market, one heck of a bottom. But now I'm starting to see the other side of it, specifically those that are covering cryptocurrency news and doing some other analysis, saying that the macroeconomic status in the US isn't as dire as some people think, and that there is going to be somewhat of a soft landing in terms of inflation finally coming down, albeit very slowly. The rate hikes, they're taking so long that it's not having as negative of effect as it could if they did it so fast and so furious, that it's not going to be as bad as people think. But are they really saying that just because that would benefit cryptocurrencies because it's seen as a risk-on asset? We will see. Speaking of US regulators, I want to talk about what the SEC just did in approving a new Bitcoin ETF. Now, there has been a lot of talk on Bitcoin ETFs over the past couple of years, and the fact that the SEC has rejected all applications for a spot Bitcoin ETF, meaning any ETF that actually buys real Bitcoin is getting rejected flat out. Now, major news just came down last week that BlackRock, one of the largest organizations that owns practically half the world, they have just submitted an application for their own Bitcoin ETF. Yes, a spot Bitcoin ETF. Now there's that, along with other news coming out from around the world, different major financial players like Fidelity, BlackRock, Deutsche Bank, as well as some others getting into the cryptocurrency world in different ways, some of which are filing applications for cryptocurrency custody status for their clients. Others are looking at different payment methods, including MasterCard, which just jumped in, and a slew of all these institutional banking companies that are looking to get into cryptocurrencies in some form or another. Well, all this news kind of came out all at the same time, or at least a very similar time, and that, in my opinion, helped push Bitcoin up to what it was at the end of last week, which was about 31,500 before it came back down a little bit. Now, a lot of people are talking about the fact that the SEC just approved a new Bitcoin ETF. However, this one is different. It is not a spot-based ETF. It is not an ETF that actually buys Bitcoin. It's an ETF that basically gambles on the potential future price of Bitcoin. Not only that, this is a leveraged Bitcoin ETF, which means the company that just started this, it is a Florida-based company. They're doing a 2x leverage Bitcoin futures ETF. And what that means is that they're giving a 2x exposure to the Bitcoin price action on Bitcoin futures on a daily basis. Now, a lot of people would say, well, this seems a lot more like gambling. It's not necessarily investing. There's no Bitcoin actually transacted. It's all just a gamble essentially based on the price of Bitcoin, and you would be right. But let me know in the comment section down below if you think these futures-based ETFs or these somewhat speculative or gambling-based ETFs are good or bad for cryptocurrencies. Let me know in the comment section down below. Finally, I wanted to address a huge announcement that was making the rounds on Twitter that Ripple was going to buy back over 10 billion XRP, which right now would cost about $5 billion. It is about 10% of the total supply, about 20% of the circulating supply of XRP. That would actually cause a major price movement upwards should that actually go through and happen, regardless of what method they actually went through to buy it back. But a lot of people are saying, well, there's no confirmed source. Where is the source? Ripple hasn't really responded. Where did this even come from, if it's true at all? Let's go ask David Schwartz. David Schwartz is, of course, the CTO of Ripple, and he is very active on Twitter, so many people said, hey, can you comment on this? The rumors are making the rounds. And he did comment. And he said, well, yes, Ripple does buy back XRP in some instances. However, he doesn't know of any immediate plans in place for something like that. And he said there is no really confirmed source for this. In other words, there's no immediate plans that he knows of, unless he's just completely spouting off a lie, that Ripple will not be buying any XRP back, or at least $10 billion worth of XRP in the near future. Now, we do know that Ripple itself does engage in buying back XRP. A lot of times it's to do so for their ODL customers, their big banking customers that utilize the on-demand liquidity system, using the XRP for that on-demand liquidity and tons of savings. So as of right now, until we wait for word from Judge Torres on what is going to happen, in terms of her opinion on XRP, the regulatory status of XRP, and of course what's going to happen with Ripple and the SEC. Will they actually go to trial? We're going to find out hopefully very soon. A lot of these XRP lawyers, of course, that made a big name for themselves on Twitter, a lot of them are thinking, well, this decision should be made any second. In fact, they're kind of shocked that it hasn't been made already. There's a lot of speculation and a lot of conspiracy theories revolving around that as well. But nonetheless, if you want to keep updated on the status of that case, because it is a huge case for all of the cryptocurrency world, regardless if you know it or not, make sure you subscribe to the Late Night Grind YouTube channel. Also, you can go follow me on Twitter. There's a link in the description below. Don't forget to hit that bell icon so that YouTube will send you that notification. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.